Will Crosshair turn on the Bad Batch and become the Star Wars universe's Winter Soldier? Now, I understand that that might sound like the craziest sentence you've ever heard, but hear me out, because Crosshair might be the key to this massive twist that is coming in the finale of the Bad Batch Season 3. And the time that he spent on Mount Tantiss might be way more important than any of us could ever imagine. So what does this mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
How can Crosshair go from the redeemed brother of the Bad Batch and Omega that we have seen throughout the first 13 episodes of this third season to a brainwashed soldier of the Empire? Well, it all has to do with his shaky hands and the time that he spent on Tantiss, because he doesn't want to talk about it and we have no idea what happened there. But let's start with who the is the Winter Soldier.
Who?
Formerly known as Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier died falling out of a train in the first Captain America movie. This train was going over a snowy ravine in Austria. Now, although Bucky did not die, he was recovered by Hydra and was tortured and brainwashed into becoming an assassin or Hydra. And in the second Captain America movie, titled The Winter Soldier, Bucky was brought back to being a good guy by Captain America. However, in the third Captain America, Civil War, it was revealed that there is a list of commands that is programmed into Bucky's head. And when said aloud, the programming in his head makes him turn into an evil assassin again. Now, I'm not saying that Crosshair works for Hydra, or that he's going to become friends with Captain America, but the similarities between these two stories are cause for a bit of a concern. Crosshair was taken by the Empire in Season 2 of the Bad Batch to Mount Tantiss. However, he was taken there after he was on a snowy planet that kind of looks like Austria.
Coincidence? I think not!
But that is just the tip of the snowy iceberg. No pun intended. Crosshair is taken to Mount Tantiss and experimented on, and in a very similar way to the Winter Soldier, we don't really know what these experiments were. However, we know that Crosshair left with shaky hands and a fear of ever going back to this facility. And throughout this third season, we have learned a lot about the Clone Assassin program. It created these clone assassins that have been bothering the Bad Batch throughout the entire third season. But we also learned that Crosshair is supposed to be one of them. But because he is different from all the other regular clones, just like all of Clone Force 99 are, the programming didn't work the same on Crosshair as it did the other clone regs. And as we saw at the beginning of Season 3, Omega and Crosshair escape Mount Tantiss together before his programming can be finished. Now, Crosshair has been acting completely normal all season around the Bad Batch, but he might just be holding back something.
No, you're still holding on! Let go!
And this might be causing him to have shaky hands and miss every shot that he takes. Now, before you say, Mike, this is impossible, they're not just going to go up to Crosshair and start saying some random words that trigger something in his head to go crazy. We've already seen that before. Order 66? Remember it? When Palpatine sent out a command to kill all the Jedi? Or did you just forget the entire reason the clone army was created in the first place? It's not that far-fetched to expect that Hemlock, with his research on Mount Tantiss, was able to create new programming for these clone assassins to allow them to obey every command by the Empire. And it's possible that when the Bad Batch arrive to Mount Tantiss, Hemlock will say the order. Maybe it's Order 67, maybe it's Order 68, maybe it's Order 69. Okay, maybe not that one. But Crosshair might turn on Echo, Wrecker, Hunter, and Rampart. And the only thing that can save him is the bond that he has created with Omega throughout this third season, making Crosshair the Winter Soldier and Omega Captain America. Now, although I joke and I kid, I am very serious when it comes to this theory. I do think that Crosshair could have had some programming done during his time on Mount Tantiss that would allow him to immediately flip a switch and try to kill his clone brothers. Just like Order 66 caused all the clones who've been working under their General Jedis for this really long war called the Clone Wars, it's not at all out of the realm of possibility that the same thing could happen with Crosshair in this finale. But tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you think it's possible that Crosshair could become the Star Wars universe's Winter Soldier? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And while we're at questioning whether or not we can trust one another, do you think the Bad Batch can trust Rampart? I explain why I think that Rampart can be trusted in this video right here.